You know what? I've made up my mind. Ashton Jeanty should win the Heisman. Now, I just want to preface this by saying that I think Travis Hunter is the best player in the country. I think he should be the number one overall pick. I think he's that good. And I do think that he is going to win the Heisman. But in my opinion, I think that Ashton Jeanty should win the Heisman, and here's why. The reason that I pick Ashton Jeanty for the Heisman isn't only because the stats, the accolades, him possibly breaking Barry Sanders' record. It's because he's the most valuable player to his team in the entire country, and he single-handedly carried Boise State to the college football playoff. Boise State had a great offense this year. They're top 5 in yards, points, etc. Like, they've been really good. And Ashton Jeanty himself accounted for over 40% of Boise State's yards and touchdowns. But it's not like he's playing with a great offense, a great quarterback, a great offensive line, great wide receivers. That's not the case. He's making it a great offense. He has almost 1,900 yards after contact. That means that 75% of his rushing yards are after contact. Every time he runs the ball, he averages 5.5 yards after contact. So I'm not saying that his offensive line hasn't been good, but he's the one creating the yards. And then you see graphics like these. He has 5 more 50-yard runs than any other team. And whenever anyone says that Boise State made the playoff, everyone's like, oh, well, they're in the Mountain West. It's an easy conference. It's not the same as the Big 12. And that's true. It's a little worse. But what's kind of funny is that this year, Boise State and Colorado's competition has been basically the same. They have the same strength of schedule, and Boise State actually played 3 ranked teams, whereas Colorado didn't play any. Colorado didn't have to play the 3 best teams in the Big 12. They didn't play ASU, they didn't play BYU, and they didn't play Iowa State. Whereas when Ashton Jeanty went up against 3 ranked teams, 2 times against UNLV and 1 time against Oregon, he averaged 187 yards and 2 touchdowns per game. So don't get me wrong, these 2 guys both deserve the Heisman. They've both had phenomenal years, all-time great seasons. But in my opinion, I would give it to Ashton Jeanty because Boise State had a better year, they're in the playoff, and in my opinion, he's more individually impactful on his team winning than Travis Hunter.